Happy Wednesday. Welcome into this week's midweek check-in here, June the 12th, 2024. I am Tracey Campbell, and I am from Craft on the Clock TV, Craft on the Clock, and My Sweet Home Living. And today and every week, if you know, you know. We'll talk about that in just a minute. We do check-ins every Wednesday at noon, and I give you all some updates for the Craft on the Clock group, give you some behind-the-scenes sneak peeks sometimes at what's going on in my world, and you may hear a little bit of what's going on in my world, which is so funny because I did a live, I'm part of Craft on the Clock's creative team, and we had like a live session, in our small group yesterday, and I was out here doing the live, and as soon as I started talking, the same thing happened, and I told my friends, I said, you know what, as soon as I start talking, this makes day number 3, every time I come out and start talking, he starts showing off. He starts showing off, and lo and behold, he's done it again today, and now I am fully convinced he knows exactly what I'm doing. He knows exactly what he's doing, rather. Hello, how are you, darling? Thank you for sprinkling us out. Hey, Mary Lou, happy you're here as well. Hot in Iowa. Oh, Miss Chris. Well, today we've had a beautiful week here in Kentucky so far. It's gradually gotten warmer each day, but it's been so nice. So nice. I've had the windows open, but I think today is our last semi-coolish type day with maybe low humidity because the 90s are on the way. The 90s are on the way. And so I'm going to give you some quick updates. This is kind of like a duo live for me. It kind of does dual purpose. It helps give my Craft on the Clock friends and followers over there some updates for the group. Which I forgot to share it into the group. Oh, goodness. I don't know if my daughter's watching or not, if she can share us into the Craft on the Clock group. Actually, maybe one of my sisters here in the comments may be able to share it over there to the group. I forgot. I've got auto approve on, so that would work for as well. If someone could share me to the Craft on the Clock group that's on the creative team, that would be amazing. Thank you so much. But I always like to give you all Craft on the Clock updates for my friends there, and then I always like to give you some updates here for those of you that follow me, or it may be both worlds. So we kind of collide here for midweek check-ins on Wednesdays at noon, which I've kind of been missing in action the last couple of weeks because, things happen. I was traveling last week on the road, and so I wasn't able to go live, obviously, because we were traveling in traffic and all kinds of things, and then that just wasn't going to work out. So, hey, Miss Joy. Sounds like Georgia weather. Humidity and heat are coming. That's right. You're right. Thank you, Miss Deanie, for the update. I appreciate you. Good to see you here today, too. Hey, Becky. Okay, so real quick, let's do the rundown of the updates, and we'll just move right along. This Friday is Grocery Trash to Treasure. You all know, usually on Fridays, we have something a little bit out of the ordinary, a little bit different. Last Friday was Vintage and Thrifted Market Day, which I hope some of you were able to catch. Some amazing items that roost. Well, there's 2 roosters now. The second one has confirmed himself. So they're gonna show off while I'm out here talking. They're just like dogs almost. And hopefully you were able to snag some good items from Vintage and Thrifted Market Day last Friday. This Friday is Grocery Trash to Treasure, which is another amazing day because we show you things that you can literally save from the garbage. If you already have it, make use of it and turn it into something totally cool. And to me, that is like the next best thing when it comes to crafting, is how you can create something amazing out of things that you already have without spending extra money, right? And so it's always a crowd favorite on Grocery Trash to Treasure Day, so you'll want to tune in to the Craft on the Clock group on Friday for Grocery Trash to Treasure. It starts at 6:45 in the morning, y'all. 6:45 a.m. Central Time and goes all the way up until 9 o'clock p.m. Central Time that night. Hey, Miss Pat, how are you, friend? So good to see you. Oh, you missed it, Darlia. Well, let me tell you something. If you missed anything from the Vintage and Thrifted event, you can go to our Facebook group. It's called All Things Vintage and Thrifted, okay? And you can go, tickle, sorry. You can go to that group, and there should be a little button somewhere close to the top of your screen that says Featured. Click on the Featured button, and that will allow you to see all of the DIY crafts for the crafting day, and it'll allow you to see all the video replays for our vendors that were participating in the market day sale. Now, granted, a lot of the market day sales, they probably have sold out of almost, if not everything that they had, but you can see some of the things that they offer and follow them from those videos as well, because they continue to have live sales throughout the week on their own pages. So that's a good tip to find all those replays, as well as if you miss replays in the Craft on the Clock group, you just have to click the Featured button on the top from Craft on the Clock group, and you can see all of the live replays from the last 24 hours. So if you don't know about that Featured button, it's your best friend. It can be your best friend. Hey Brenda, hey Phyllis, hey Miss Lynn from Canada. So that's Friday, and then coming up this weekend, Saturday, we have a fun co-hosted event that's happening over there into the group. It's called Sunflowers Summer at Sunset. How cool does that sound? It will start at 11 a.m. Central and goes all the way up until 9 p.m. Central. So we'll be bringing you some fun things Friday and Saturday, and of course the rest of the week too. We have regular programming Monday through Friday over there. So you all check it out. Next week, not this week, but next Friday, we have the Crafty Cook Summer Foods Edition. So we're talking like summertime desserts, maybe some quick summer meals that are convenient to cook, when it's hot outside. Maybe even having some grilling recipes. I don't know what we're going to have, but I know they're going to be amazing because we have some crafty good cooks on our creative team, and they'll be bringing you summertime favorite recipes and cooking demos on next Friday. Okay, so you'll want to check it out. Then next weekend, girls just want to have fun. How fun does that sound? That's going to be the theme of a co-hosted event happening in the Craft on the Clock group next weekend. So lots of fun stuff heading your way this summer. So y'all tell me what your summer plans are. What are you doing this summer? Are you traveling? Do you have a vacation planned? Are you keeping the grandkids over the summer? Are you making it a mission to be poolside as many days out of the summer as you can? Spending time at the lake? Tell me what you're doing. I'm looking for ideas. Of course, I have plenty to keep me busy here at my place, which I'm going to be giving you all a little quick pic of the chickens today. Some chicken chatter, some updates on what I'm doing to the coop as far as renovations going on that, because there's still things to do. The list, y'all, is a mile long. You know how it is. You always have things on your to-do list. And I told my creative team members yesterday, I said, my plate is full. I am super grateful for that. But I said, I will have things to do and things to continually improve upon here at our new place, probably at least for the next year, at least. So, things, I wish I could snap my fingers and have everything looking and exactly the way I want it in a snap of a finger, but it's just not humanly possible. It's just not humanly possible. So we are doing things a little by little, and the chicken coop has been on the reno list here lately. Oh, you're going to the beach. The beach by us isn't. Oh no, goodness! I didn't realize that, Miss Jenny. Now my screen just went a little dark, probably because it's anticipating the sun. I'm kind of under my little patio umbrella right now. I'm telling y'all, that rooster, that is Tom. Okay, he is the one that I really feel like is the older one. He just seems to be the more dominant one. But the other rooster, now both of these roosters were surprises, by the way. I never planned to even have one rooster, let alone two. So if you are local to my area and you need a rooster or two, you let me know. I can share. So I'm going to take y'all out to the chickens here in a little bit. We're going to feed them some snacks. And what do you snack? What do chickens like for snacks? Well, they'll eat just about anything, including my flowers. Yes, that they are getting really mischievous. Are the roosters mean? No, not yet, Jenny. And now I've read a lot of people that say, they will be mean. It's just unavoidable, and I think it's just part of their nature. We're not there yet. I'm kind of hoping it's kind of stays maybe that way. I don't know. We are out there constantly with the chickens multiple times a day, myself and my kids. I'm hoping that they are, they never see us as a threat. I don't know. I'm a newbie at this, so I really don't know for sure. And I could be totally naive and think, kids and be laughing at me and thinking, oh yeah, right. You just wait. Let's see. My lighting is making it hard to see the comments. Goodness, let me see. We live in a house and it will always, oh goodness, the comment, I can't see them. The sun is messing with my eyes and my screen darkens because it's so bright out here. So let's head over to the chickens, and we'll just have to show Mr. Tom off because that's what he's wanting to do anyway. He's wanting to be a show off. If they get mean, they make good soup, right? That's, unfortunately it's probably true. I mean, I'm going to keep them until I can't keep them. You know what I mean? Because I just feel like, that's the right thing to do. So y'all hang with me. Hopefully we won't get too wobbly. We're going to just go for a little walk. I'm on the back patio. We're going to walk over to the chicken run. Give y'all some chicken updates. Show you some of the things that I've put around the chicken run. Now the chicken run, if you're not familiar with like chicken terminology, it's just basically the pen where you can let them loose safely without letting them like totally free range. So they're out in the run and they see me coming. So let me flip my camera around and then I can kind of show you all some things at the same time. Now it's a work in progress, so keep that in mind. I am somewhat of a perfectionist, and so it's really hard for me to kind of show this off to anybody because I know in my head it's not what I want it to be just yet, but it takes time. And so we'll kind of walk through the process and I'll kind of show you what we're doing out here. So let me flip it around. There we go. Okay, so here's the chicken coop. We have renovated the door. If you all only could see what the door looked like when we first got here. Oh, it's like a major improvement. Okay, all right. So we're gonna open the door and let the chicky doodles out. And there they come. I mean, they just like to just go crazy. And when they first get out, they have a little bit of the zoomies. They want to go crazy. Now here in a minute, I'll show you the treat bag trick here in just a minute. They're over there by the water hose now. They like to go over there. They like to snack on my hostas. Oh, look, they saw me sit the treat bag down. Are y'all wanting some treats? Chick, 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 chick. Watch it. Chick, 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 chick. Watch it. They're all going to come over here. Now the roosters, there's Tom. There is Tom. And let's see, there is Jerry. And he has started to crow. Now you can obviously tell the difference. Oh, come back. They're saying, nope, you didn't give us any signs. Come on. Chick, chick, chick. There's Miss Purdy and Tom together right there. Miss Purdy is our favorite. Well, they're like, okay, well, we're just going to go snack on some greens since you're taking too long, lady. Chick, chick, chick. Come here, Tom. Chick, 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 chick. They're like, nope. See ya. They're going over to the little wood line. We'll let them browse for a little bit. We'll let them snack a little bit, and then I'll show you how I get them back in with the treat bag. So let me get in the shade so we can chat and I can see the screen a little better. Hold on. I moved my chair out here so hopefully I can see y'all a little bit better in the shade. And let's go this way. And they might cross. So I'll show you a little bit right here, and I can see the screen. Hold on. Let me get my cord out of the way here. They're going to snack over there in the woods just for a little bit while I'm sitting here. It's so sunny. Here, let's just turn around. Let's go this way. Let's see. Here we go. Okay, so this coop, of course, we inherited it when we moved in, right? And of course there are things that we're still wanting to change, but we've tried to use it as it is, the way it is, to an extent, the best that we can, and do little things little by little. Because you could really sink some money into this stuff, and we really didn't want to sink a whole lot of money into this, honestly. We just wanted it usable. But you know me, I have to have flowers and with everything. So what I have done is I have had to go around the base of this run and bury wire, okay? Because if you're familiar with chicken keeping, predators like to dig. They can dig under the fencing. And I wasn't for sure if the fencing that was on here went all the way down under the ground and was buried. And so I had to do a little bit of investigating work, and it did not. And so that was number one. I was like, okay, I've got to get wire down at ground level and get that secure so nothing can dig down under. So I had to bring out the tiller. We had to break the ground, all the way around the perimeter of the outside, the run area, which is the pen, basically. And so I've done that, and then once I did that, it rained for like a week. And so it was sitting and sitting. I was like, oh my gosh, am I ever going to get anything done? And so I have pulled out all of my planters and tried to decorate things up. This is a wildflower patch. My daughter, she said, that was one of the things that she wanted to do was when we moved here, she wanted to have some wildflowers and, or some zinnias or something like cut flowers, right? She wanted to have a little roadside stand. And so that is, that has been planted, and they are just starting to come up. And so we're hoping that will just cover this bare area. And of course, I have all of these galvanized tubs and wash tubs that I have had from our previous gardens, and I thought I've got to find a place for them. And so we have placed these, but my chickens, they think everything is a buffet for them. And I'm like, what am I going to do to keep these chickens out of my flowers? So things have been elevated, raising things up, even hanging things from the top up there. I've got a little hanger, and I'm about to hang some other things from the top. We're about to hang some little fence boxes across the middle here to kind of decorate it up. Really just, adding character to it to make it look, a little more decorative other than just, a rundown chicken run. So I like vintage and rustic, and so we're just playing up the whole farm theme with the galvanized tubs. I even have some vintage funnels right there. I'm using one of those vintage farm funnels that was from my granddad's farm, I think. And then from this front right here, I have wire buried this whole run right here on this side, but now this front, I did not bury wire right here yet. So what I did instead is on this farm, we have a bunch of random square cinder blocks everywhere. And I've been seeing all these ideas on Pinterest and, using them as planters. And I'm thinking, you know what? That's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to go around, and I scavenged all around this farm, and I've found 6 of them and have made a pyramid out of some of these square cinder blocks. And I have planted them, for the most part, with plants that are going to cascade. As they grow, they're going to cascade and cover the actual concrete block. So that's the plan, is to have like a flowering pyramid there, if you will. So all of those plants will trail and cascade down, as well as the plants that are going up around the top of the fence area as well. Now the plan is, before winter hits, we are going to take this top part off of the run and slant it. Let me see if I can't really zoom out. We're going to slant that to the left so that we can put a clear roof on that, and so that water and snow will drain off, and it will also keep the run from being so muddy and nasty throughout the winter. But it's working fine now. It is covered with some just basic chicken wire for now, which is working as a temporary, it works for now, but before winter, that's the plan, to get that covered. So and I'll show you this little, some of my plantings here in a little bit. My husband DIY'd the door for me. Let me close it so that you can kind of get a better look at it here in a minute. the chickens are over there scratching, and Pongo sees them from the back door, so he's barking. But that door he DIY'd himself. We have lined it with meshing. I don't know what that noise was. Oh, okay. That was the door. It was loud. Hardware mesh, which is actually a hard, small, square fencing wire. So if you see that's what we have, and that's what we are planning to cover the rest of the chicken run with, is a smaller wire, because you can see this wire is too large. Predators, can reach right in, honestly, and if they wanted to. But for now, it's working. But eventually, we'll be covered in the same kind of wire that we've lined that door with. But hopefully, once we get all of that kind of squared away, the roofing on, then we are going to put like a stain on all the wood so that it all kind of matches. Kind of have that, maybe like that craftsman style look, that stained wood with hints of black and green accents. So that's the plan eventually. But now this side looks pretty rough. This side is rough. This is kind of what it looked like before. So if you want to look before and after, or middle, I guess you should say, mid process, that's what it's looking like right now. And then hopefully in a couple of weeks it'll be really lush and green, and I can give you an update on what it looks like then. But yeah, you can see now over here I have to bury some wire, but we have a big tree right here which I am battling with tree roots. So yeah, I've got to come up with a plan to bury the wire over there with avoiding the tree roots. So that's next thing on the agenda. But there are things in there that they can climb on, they can roost on. There's a roosting bar, there's some big branches. They are roosters by nature, so they like to roost and climb in order to feel safe too by predators. So let's walk down this way. This, I've kind of moved things around this week. I love this because I kind of have it elevated, and from a distance, if we're outside entertaining, we have a little fire pit area that we are in the process of kind of renovating as well, but it's just right over here to my right. So from there you can see the chicken coop, and I want it to be pretty, right? Because this is going to be like the main view when you're out in the yard. So the goal is with all of these wildflowers that will be popping up, and elevating things, it will kind of hide the chicken run, if you will, make it prettier anyway. But this little wire fencing or border was actually here when we moved in. It was in other random areas around the house, and I had pulled it up and had it sitting off to the side, thinking I would list it on Marketplace, because I thought, I'm not going to need that. Well, you see who's using it now. That's to keep the chickens out of and away from my flowers, so, and from eating the wildflower seeds that we have planted. So as the wildflowers grow up, that'll kind of mask and kind of all come together, hopefully without too much trouble. But we've got some herbs back here. There we go. We're in the shade now. But you can see from different angles, it's really going to look cute once it all starts to come together. It just takes a little bit of time to get things growing. And we were covered in rain forever. So, but anyway, the other thing that I was working on last weekend, it was actually last weekend, we have hostas everywhere around our front walkway, around our front sidewalk. And they are literally taking over and covering and falling over into our sidewalk. So I have taken those hostas and I've been dividing them up. And I have 4 giant hostas here that I have transplanted. This is more shaded and closer to the woodland area, so I have to have shade loving plants back here, and kind of fit into the environment. Woodland, the hostas are perfect. And so all of these 4 hostas are from one giant hosta that was in the front of our house, and I really only probably removed half of it. So that's all 4 of those together were half of one of the hostas in the front. Can you believe that? So I still have just that many or more still left, but it's slowly a work in progress. There's my little chicken nesting boxes that you all have seen in the past. I had those arranged differently at our other house, but I felt like the side of this house, or side of this little building, needed some character, so I'm slowly adding things to the wall here, and just kind of decorating that up just to kind of add some some interest to your eye when you're out here. And of course, once all of this grows in, we're going to mulch it and add a rock border around the hostas. So I come out here and piddle on the weekends when I can, and that's what I did on my birthday, was working on these little things. There is we do have some plants here that are kind of leaning over, but you know, I don't know. When we moved in, I didn't know how much areas get sunlight the best, which areas were shaded the most, and so it's kind of been a learning process to see what is doing better where, you know, as far as sun and light goes. I need a big garden angel. Let's see here. I'm going to go back and read some of your comments. You love the hostas, JoJo. I do too, and we have a ton of them, and I love them, but I don't love them taking over my front sidewalk, so I'm just kind of moving things around and trying to get it done before the heat of the summer. So that's what we've been doing. So now the chickens, they're all the way back here in the back. This is the fire pit area, and I'll have to show you that on another day. It's still pretty rough. It's still pretty rough. Now the chickens are back here in the woods. What are you guys doing back here? They're just like, yeah. It's so peaceful. Yes, it is. It will take a while, Regina. You're so right. Hey, Miss Deborah. Happy Wednesday, Wendy. How are you? So glad to see you here. I know. He did a good job on the door. I was impressed. I told him, I was like, the door that was there was literally sticks. You know, they had just kind of, you know, made a little stick door, but anything could squeeze right through it. In fact, we had some raccoons squeezing through it at night. I could see them from the back of my house, or the windows in the back. And I said, okay, you know, if there's ever a time where we're not home and the chickens aren't put up, I said, they're going to be toast. You know, so we needed a new door. And so he came up with that little design all on his own. So he did a good job. Can y'all hear them chattering? They're so funny. Let me see if I can. You have daylilies all over the yard. Yes, yes. We do have some daylilies, not quite as many as we do hostas. Hostas we're really just being overrun with. But this is a nice stick pile that we inherited when we moved in, which is eventually going to be used in the fire pit. So get that cleaned up this summer when we're out with the, you know, at the fire pit with some real roasted marshmallows. But there's Tom. And I'm trying to think. We have 15. I'm doing a quick count. There's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Am I missing one? Or did I just miscount? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No, they're all here. They're all here. Thank you. They do. They chatter. They're so funny. And there's one. She was behind the tree. That's probably the one I didn't count the first time. So let's walk back over to the treat bag and see if I can get them to follow me. That'll be funny. So either that, or I'll go get the treat bag, and you all can see. Let me flip the camera around. You can see how they follow me, or they run. They come running. They're so funny. And the roosters are the funniest when they're running. They're just comical, you know. They are the funniest little creatures. Are they? No, they're not following me yet. So hang on. Let's get in the shade. And let's put the camera down so maybe you can see them coming. Okay. I think you'll be able to see them right here, hopefully. Well, let's just flip the camera. That might be easier. Okay, let's see if they'll come. All right. Tick, 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 tick. Come on. They're going to make a liar out of me now. They're like, we haven't been out long enough. We haven't been out long enough to go. Come on, chicks. Come on. Tick, 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 tick. Come on. I see you. Come on. There they go. There they go. Here they come. Oh, yeah. Watch them. Watch them. All right. Okay. I will deliver this time. Here we go. Now, let's get over here where I can sprinkle them where you can see them. They like mealworms. That's what they're going crazy after. Isn't that funny? I'm just sprinkling them on top of this little gravel area we have out here beside the shed. But they go crazy. I was having some questions on, like, how do you get your chickens to come to you? And it took a little bit, because at first I was a little nervous too, thinking, okay, I'm used to dogs and cats, and what do you do for chickens? It's not like they're it's not like you can tell them what to do and they listen. They don't learn commands. Yes, they do. They come running every single time, almost. But they love the mealworms, and they'll just sit and scratch and peck. Not yet, Marcia. I have not done that yet. We are starting egg watch today, because I think we're at like 17 weeks. Most of these are at 17 weeks old, except for those are called Isa Browns. Those right there. They could start laying anytime. So we're on egg watch. We're on egg watch. It should be any day. They're getting old enough that they should start laying pretty soon. And I've been reading, the more, you're looking at the females, you're looking at the comb and the skin that's around their eyes, and the more red that it starts to become, the more mature they are, and the closer they will be to actually laying. So that's what we're looking at. That's what we're keeping watch on. And there are a few that are starting to get more color to their comb. Now look at that one. They love to hop on my chairs, you guys, especially when I'm not sitting in them. Now, when I'm sitting in them, they'll still hop in it. But when I'm not in it, look at that little fluffy tail. She's going to sit there. Oh! She thought she was going to lay down and get some sun. That's what she was going to do. They love when the sun is warm. They will just stretch out and just soak up the sun. Sound like they're sunbathing. And that's what she was planning on doing, but she rolled right off the edge of that chair. They like cottage cheese. Oh, that's funny. The other rooster's name, so this is Tom. And, well, come say hello. And that's Jerry right there. Now, Tom is the more dominant one right there. He was the one that's he's just bigger, prettier, just more developed way sooner than Jerry. So, but they are so fun. Okay, they're all in my chair again. They're still over there climbing the chair. No pecking over there. Sometimes they'll come right up to me. And now that she's getting in my chair right there. That was my chair that I was sitting in a second ago. Let's go over here and sit down and see if she'll stay there. We'll see. We'll see. Hold on. Let me get my camera. Woohoo. Flipped around here. Okay. Are you going to stay there? No, look. Oh, she's like, no, I think I'm out of here. The black and gold one. Yes, they are. They're so pretty. Those are called golden lace Wyandottes. But they do not like, they're not social as far as like letting us handle them. They don't like to be touched or anything. They're not mean. They just don't like to be touched. So we only have 2 of those. Oh yeah. Oh, look over there. Well, one is right there. This is our shed right here. That's going to eventually be a horse run in. We're going to have to relocate it. The lady that was here before, she was using it as a place for her firewood. And but we're going to relocate it to the field. Now look at this one. hold on. I'm trying to get over to it. Hang on. I'm trying to get over to it without scaring it. Now that chicken looks like it's dead. Doesn't it look like it's dead? It is sitting there sunning. It's sunbathing. And isn't that hysterical? I mean, if somebody didn't know any better, they'd think that chicken is dead or dying or something's wrong with it. It's just, it'll make a little bowl there, and it'll just sit and soak up the sun. Isn't that funny? Oh, gosh. They're hysterical. They're just going to pick around over here, around the yard, for a little bit. This is the side yard. They're just chattering away. It's 12:36, so we have another creator coming up live in the Craft on the Clock group in 9 minutes. So we've got a few minutes to chat. Let me see if I can keep the sun out of my eyes. It's kind of like speckling out through the trees. It's about to reach the edge of the tree. Maybe I need to scoot my chair up a little bit, and then we'll sit for a little bit. We'll sit and watch the chickens. Yeah, right? She's getting her suntan on. Patty, we definitely want eggs. Like I said, the chickens were an accident. Or the roosters, I mean. The roosters were an accident. I didn't plan on having any roosters. And, of course, we had 2 of them. I have 2 of them. So, I don't know. If we get chicks, we get chicks. If y'all know me, I'm just kind of like a roll with it type of person. So, whatever happens, happens. If we have to get rid of them, I'll just get rid of them. Okay, now y'all hang on a second. I've got a bug crawling on my phone. And I do not want it over here. Ooh, it was a creepy looking bug. So we'll just deal with them until we can't, So, well, the roosters are being quiet now that they're out, but I'm telling you, every time I come out, and if they're like in the run, if they're still back here in the run and not out in the yard, and if he hears me talking or hears us, sometimes just, even if he hears us even open and close the back door, he will start crowing. And it's been something that he has just started doing the last probably 3 days. And the first couple of days I thought, oh, that's cute. I like hearing him anyway. And but it's become noticeable. Like, he knows exactly what he's doing. He's recognizing that we're coming out, and he's talking. He's talking to us. Hey, Miss Joy. How are you? Let me see. My comments stopped scrolling for a second. Hey, Miss Betty, how are you? It's so good to see you all. Even though we're not crafting for these midweek check-ins, every Wednesday at noon, I try my best. Now, if I'm driving or, sometimes there are just things, I may have appointments or something, but I try to keep Wednesdays at noon clear, or where I can at least stop what I'm doing and meet up with you all just a chat. And giving y'all some updates or some behind the scenes, just kind of giving you something different, just like talking to friends. Exactly. Oh my gosh, what happened to my comments? I've got to scroll way down. How do I get them back in the coop, Cindy? Well, what I usually do is, if you saw my little trick a second ago with the treat bag, I will do that. And instead of sprinkling those mealworms out here in the yard, I shake the bag and I walk in to the pen and I start sprinkling those treats out inside the pen, and they will all go in. And then I just shut the door. Sometimes if I'm out of treats, or if they've had too many treats, you don't need to over treat them, right? So sometimes it's something as simple as me filling up their food bucket. I can fill up their food bucket and walk around in the yard and shake it and walk into the pen, and they will most of the time come in and follow me in there. And then I just shut the door. Now, as far as like getting them to actually go inside the coop itself, like the actual building for like nighttime, when it starts to get dark, they naturally know to start going in to the coop, because they associate the coop as their safe spot, as their sleeping spot. Because when they were chicks, That's where they stayed. They stayed inside that coop for several weeks before I let them out. So you have to kind of let them get familiar with each new spot that you want them to stay. So like they grew accustomed to the coop, the building, and then once they were old enough to be let out, I let them out into the run, and I would let them out into the run, but not into the yard. Let them out in the run, and they were, get the hang of that. It's just a slow process of kind of training them. And so now that they're older and they know where to come back to for safety, I'll let them free range in the yard and around the edge of the wood line, if we're in and out and close to the windows to watch and check on them periodically. But if we were like to leave the house, I don't ever leave them out in the yard. We're way too close to predators, potential predators anyway, whether that's hawks or raccoons or anything. I saw a reel where this guy's, yes, I saw that too, Deborah. In fact, I had 2 friends send me that video, and I thought that is hysterical. Using a leaf blower to guide your chickens back to where you want them to go. And, yeah, I could see that. I could see having to do that, especially if they get too far off, But usually when it gets close to dark, they will naturally gravitate back into the coop, and then I just close the little door. There's a little door where they come out from the coop building out into the run pen, and I'll manually close that. I'm getting ready to install an automatic opening and closing door though on the coop. The coop is the actual building, the little shed, and so it will open automatically at a certain time and close at a certain time or whatever. But getting ready to install that probably in the next week. So they're going all fancy. Yes, I would love that, JoJo. Oh, you're so sweet. You lay lentils in a large pan and keep them moist to sprout, and your chickens love those as a treat. That's a great idea, Lacey. I will have to keep that in mind. I've been seeing some ideas about that too. I know they like watermelon, and there's so many like scraps, right, that you can feed them. Sorry, my alarm was going off. But I've given them lettuce. I've given them some strawberries. They went crazy over the strawberries. The lettuce was almost like they didn't know what to do with it. But they love just being out in the yard bugging and eating my flowers. So they get plenty to eat without me having to feed them with fruit or anything. I mean, they have their normal chicken feed, that I give them, but and then their treats. They're like they're mealworms. They're dried mealworms. They love those. It is, Miss Mary. It is. It's slowly coming together. The auto door, yes, works great. Yes, that's what we're hoping for too. They were still a little bit young to kind of have it just yet, because they're still a little bit inconsistent with their timing. Some nights they'll go in, before it gets dark, and then sometimes they'll, wait till I'm having to, kind of remind them to get in. I'm like, chicks, it's getting dark. You better get your honeys in there. This kind of thing. But so they're getting, probably in another week, they'll be ready for it. So I think anyway. You want chickens just do it. Listen, I didn't know what I was doing. You learn, I kind of crammed all the info that I could, before I got them. And I've just done it step by step, learning as you go. And they are so much fun. They are so much fun. How are you, Nancy? Okay, you guys, I'm going to hop off. We have a creator coming up in the Craft on the Clock group every 45 minutes today. And I don't know if I'm hoping that maybe I can see you all early Saturday morning again. Saturday morning, maybe 8:30ish. I don't know. Hopefully so. I'll let you know on my Telegram channel if so, though. Y'all have an amazing day. Enjoy your day. And find some sunshine. Now, whether that's literal sunshine or you make your own sunshine, I want you to find some today. Okay? I'll talk to you soon. Thanks so much for joining me. Bye, guys.